Good day everyone, back with some more FGO here on our alt account. Events obviously still ongoing, will be for a while. It actually lasts slightly longer than 2 weeks, about 16 days. So we're just going to pick up right where we left off on a free quest portion. So I'm actually going to be a bit silly and try this out. As you can see, we managed to get Seed and Ion up to 80 thanks to the 20 all embers from our login. So besides that, let's see how we do. Turns out the sound was muted. Oops. Okay, so as you can see, this first wave of enemies are a wee bit stouter than they were before. But besides that, the mini boss in the middle wave has roughly 30,000 more health, and then the servant boss in the last wave has right at 10k. So theoretically, shouldn't be that much more difficult of a fight. The game, theoretically. So let's hope it actually plays out that way. I think that should be all. Do wish I could level her skills a bit. She takes caster mats and berserker mats, unfortunately. And we already need berserker mats for Heracles. Let's go ahead and pop our defense up here. What little that one up. Suppose I could level that a bit, since it helps the entire party. Because getting her MP gain really quickly. Right now, she's only MP level 1, and it's an unupgraded MP as well. So it's not the most helpful thing. That being said, she still gets really good gain, even in rank 1. Pretty sure I said that exact same thing yesterday though. That's a bit more damage than I would like. Just a bit. I'm going to trust that she'll be able to kill this thing even if I go for MP gain. Yeah, easy as. It turns out. The gain was a lot less than I expected, but it got the job done. What node are we on? Waikiki Street. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we need to get girls some game. Now, this Acrobat Eater, I feel like is one of the most dangerous things here. So I'm actually going to, this may be a mistake, but I'm going to MP the bugger and go ahead and do mashes just as an extra defense. This will generate more stars, but what is it? Oh, it's defense decrease. Oh, so both of her main effects increase with overcharge. That's pretty good. This will get his MP. Now this isn't going to kill, because she's not going to get multiplicative damage, but it will take a chunk out. We just don't want to give it too many turns to get its MP and quickly kill our team. Well, that, and when it uses its MP, it gets a turn of evasion. That's no fun. Well, we already have Kane there, but just in case, I'll do this. We need heat. Yeah, it was good that I did that just in case. Unneeded crit. I don't think there's any reasonable way we're going to kill this tank, unfortunately. So damage wise it would be best if he targets Gilgamesh, because it's going to kill Marsh unless I invuln her, but I don't want to waste the charge on her. Actually, it's better to get just to make sure the charge comes here. And who's next in line? I think we have Robin next in line, which isn't particularly helpful. Oh well. It hits where it hits. Oh, lucky us. And we got the defense back. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more MP gain on Cedar Knight. However, she'll just die with her taunt, so I'm going to use it for MP gain instead. Ah. There we go. Oh, bugger. OBS is having a tism again, it seems. Sometimes it works fine, and sometimes it wants to crash the emulator for whatever reason. It's very, very strange. Okay. Let's try this again. So she's taunted. I don't like the sound. Can't make up its mind. Oh, that game was atrocious. Or maybe she had less than I thought. Never mind. Oh, that's actually good news. Now hopefully these hit. Shame. So the good news is we can get AMP. Let's go in. And she's going to get triple multiplicative damage. He's going to get double. He should be strong enough at MP3 with his own buffs to kill the ads. Yeah. So it's good to know we can farm at least this node at its highest difficulty. Not necessarily super expediently, but... Alright, she can quick charge. I'd forgotten about that. This should be fine. Yeah. Blizzard crits. Oh, we only have... I think that's a good servants, isn't it? It's odd. I thought we would have already cleared those, but wasn't to be, it seems. Now we can ascend Jolter again. We just need 2 more of these feathers. So the one from the technique points and one from the shop. And unfortunately uses these same tickets. So we, in a pinch, if worse comes to worse, we will grab that and forgo the 3rd copy of the craft essence. But we should be able to get all 3 copies of the craft essence and then the feather of the quill easily enough. Let us ascend. So as you can see, it's really no issue getting her ascension levels. Honestly, in thinking about all the welfare servants that I've went through getting since I've been playing, I think she's the single easiest one to get all her ascension mats for, because there are no random missions you have to clear. They're not rewards for semi-challenging quests at all. They're just extremely low on the point ladders, and then one in the shop. And luckily her copies as well, which will be available next week, her other 4 copies to get her MP5, are locked behind the raids, 1 for each raid. And the raids are made in such a way that they have a certain amount of turns and then they end, or if your team gets wiped, they end. However, the amount of damage you did to the boss, whether you actually killed the boss or not, will remove from the boss's total health bar. Curious what this would get her to. Oh, just a couple levels. How far are we from being able to... Okay. However, I just noticed we have some more FP rolls. So we'll do those right quick. Nice that we have... I think we have... Yeah. We have 30 SQ rolls saved up. Well, 31 technically. Well, really 34 because of the bonus rolls, but... Come on, give us something nice. It adds. At least we can... is that a... I always get mixed up if this is attack or HP. I think that's HP. So we'll slap that on Heracles. Yeah, it's HP. Oh well. We've about got him a clean 1,000 on each. They will come eventually. Let's get back to doing this. And actually... Oops. That's my mistake. I had forgotten that we'd actually already gotten a copy of this CE. So we missed 30% of the motivation drops. That annoys me actually. That's such a waste. Oh well. C'est la vie. Okay, she's next. And I'm going to go ahead and put Heracles next because Robin's going to be completely useless for this fight, unfortunately. So I'm going to slap this on here just for... It's really pitiful, but it's some amount of stats. Alright. Round 2.
Naniを驚く? 遊ぶときは本気で遊ぶものだぞ。頑張ります。できる男の余裕というやつ。今日はオフだというのに。できる男の余裕というやつよ。おいで。みんなよろしくね。
Going to try getting air MP a bit quicker. So in that case, going to do this. Definitely need to take advantage of art cards while they're available. Alright, I forgot the little buggers can heal. I'm going to do this just for MP gain. Either way we'll kill the bugger pretty easily. And this actually gets some damage on that one. So there was the better line anyway. So yeah, sometimes you can play too fast and make little errors. Sort of like here, where we're just a wee bit. Never mind. We got there in the end. She has quite a bit more attack. It has to be expected. However, he's going to do double damage while she does 50% more damage. So, this debate on it is on whose Buster card to put last in order. I'm leaning on his right now. Although, actually, never mind, doesn't matter, because we're gonna do this. Okay, lovely crit, speed things up a bit. Oh. Yeah, we take those. Really dislike Smash. Now, normally I would happily do this line to get Cedar Knight some charge quickly, but it's vital we kill this bugger quickly. So I don't want to risk leaving him alive any longer than we have to. Alright. So, certainly fine. Can Mash kill? She's not forward. She's got right out about 6,000 attack. She does neutral. And he's got a defense down. Here's where we are. Okay. I was fairly sure she would, but weird things have happened before when I trusted Marsh to actually kill. Weird things. And just like before, we're going to go ahead and do this. He really likes dislikes Gilgamesh there. She needs. Can she get 7% out of her quick card? I grabbed that one because I didn't want him to risk him critting. Okay, easy as. Never in doubt. Not even a doubt in my mind. Oh, right, she was getting her battery back anyway. Sometimes we worry over nothing, kids. Sometimes we do that. Wow. It's fine. So we're going to be quite tanky after this. So after MP upgrade, she gets an offensive addition to her Noble Phantasm. Support wise, it doesn't do damage of course, but it gives a fairly sizable attack boost to her two allies. It doesn't affect Mash herself, but again her two allies get a 3-turn attack up. On top of the defense and damage cut. And now we laugh. Yes, I will take your crit stance. we'll take all of them. Just about loop to MP. If she wasn't scuffed all the heck, she would have. But this is about as quickly as you can get a 5-star unit up like this on such a fresh account, honestly. So it's actually a wonder we got out this far. That's good. We'll chain level up pretty quickly. We're getting more than double the amount that you would normally acquire from these, which is a very good thing, because that's only going to improve as we get more copies of the craft essences. Speaking of, can we afford soon? Very soon. So one more run of this and we will be able to grab another copy of Water Shrine. It's Water Shine. I always get mixed up if it's Shine or Shrine, but I think it's Shine. And in my defense, like Game Press and then the wiki, back when this event first aired and got its official English title to the craft essence, they both said more different things. I vividly remember that. And now we can go ahead and grab another set of 20 embers and see if we can't get Jolter on up to 60. We'll go to the story in just a moment. First,
ダヴィンチちゃんの素敵な工房にようこマナプリズムと交換する？いいとも。では今回の品物を紹介しよう。
okay, that's a 10 set.
いらっしゃい。
I don't know if this will be enough, but we'll see. As usual, we'll do about try and get it roughly to 50. There we go. Because if this happens, well, that just saved us a bunch. That just guaranteed we can do it, basically. And I'm even going to do the same here in case it crits again. Because sometimes it can be generous. I highly doubt he would do it 3 times in a row, but weird stuff occasionally does occur. Oh, that's close. In fact, that's so close that we'll go with that for the moment. Never mind. But I definitely don't want to waste a gold ember like that to get 20k when it's worth 64k or 68k, whatever they're worth now, since she's doubles. So she's coming along quite nicely. Curious. See the name. Ah, it's caster gems. Of course, this will be what we'd level first because that's her battery and one of her biggest buffs, because it's a substantial attack up as well as crit star gen up, and it increases activation chance. So the battery and activation chance of the other two buffs increases with higher ranks, so you definitely want to focus on getting this one up as you're able. Now, what quest is this? I think this is the one with a couple waves of berserkers. Which means it's a good opportunity to see if we can't grab somebody new for our friends list. This person already has a... Okay, this is an excellent. If this person would friend us, it would be very lovely. I'm of course not going to hold my breath on that actually happening, but it would be very helpful for us to get access to, because obviously my main doesn't have every bloody thing, so it's good to have access to things that I don't have. Yeah, so a wave of the low health chickens, and then a medium health boss, I think is what's going to be in the second one. We have all this charge for double X here, but no way of really... Well, she can't use her MP. Interestingly enough, this is an interesting skill, I feel. Where she generates a bunch of crit stars just for the turn it's used on, but decreases our own star gather rate. She has an amazing kit, by the way. The only thing holding her back is foreigner class. That being said, her kit is so outstanding, and then she's even got an MP upgrade coming that makes her even better. That despite being a foreigner, she's still a very solid unit, and you can essentially use her as almost an archer because she gets such insane anti-saber damage. She also gets damage against threats to humanity, so she's really good at killing other foreigners and certain bosses in the Lost Belts that have that designation. She has hard survival. She also has an invuln pierce and a battery. She can generate crit stars. Her MP gain's really lovely as well. She gets a further attack boost with her MP, and just does massive damage to sabers. Currently contemplating. Yes, there's nothing else to do but this. Really. Also, her animations and her 3 different ascensions are all very different from each other. Like, they basically... She's a 4-star that they basically spent like a 5-star level of effort on her animations and the like, which is really lovely. I'm very tempted to roll for her. You have no idea how difficult it was for me not to roll for her last year on my main, but I had to hold myself back. Of course, looking back, rolling for her probably would have cost me Ishtar, who, to be fair, was a completely out of the blue thing to roll for because I thought, oh, AoE Archer would be fairly nice. I have Atalanta, but she was MP1 at the time. And I've already went over how rough quick support is to find, especially for a budget player. That being said, luckily she does get another raid up when her buff comes, so I may take a swing at her then on my main. We'll have to see. I haven't actually looked, really sat down and thought through that particular year, because that's 2 years from now. I think it's 2 years from now. It's either 2 years from now or really late next year. And currently, my sole target next year is just Castoria, next anniversary, so. Okay, she got the attack up. That's lovely. Let's generate some crit stars for her. So this is nice. Sidonai's... I actually haven't looked at this, I probably should, but her star rate seems to be fairly decent, at least in comparison to these two. I haven't thought guessed what Marsha's would be. I imagine it shouldn't be too high, considering you generally don't want to attack with her, unless you absolutely have to. Yeah, that makes a big difference in getting her Arn attack up, because so that was 50% more damage as opposed to double damage that she does against. What? No, never mind. They're both 50% damage or extra damage. But that was a solid 20k more than she was doing against Semiramis. Of course, there's also alignments to take into account, but... Ah, bugger. That's unlucky. When it comes to the friend list, it's actually, unfortunately, the way they have it to where it's sort of random and kind of based on how often or how long ago it was someone logged in. To how often they actually appear on your friends list. If you have... The more you have on your friends list, the more difficult it is to find what you need. It can be pretty rough, so I'd actually definitely recommend stopping once you get about 20, 30 or so. Even then it can be a bit sketchy to find what you want, but generally that gets you a good spread. You can add who you want for the most part there, but definitely not going crazy. Like, how many do we even have available right now? Like, even right now we have 60 slots available, and there's no way that I'd want to fill that up. I'd never be able to. Oh, I need Maryland. Maybe 4 of them have Maryland, and it might take refreshing for 30 minutes before he pops up, and that's only a slight exaggeration. So it's something you do have to be careful about. But the same time, it's not something that will probably affect you for a while.
何を驚く。遊ぶときは本気で遊ぶものだぞ。よしよし。白いは偉いね。
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
今日はオフだというのに、できる男の
I wonder.
というやつよ。今日はオフだというのに、まったく。
了解です。
Now he's going to do more damage. And he also needs more charge, so we're going to do this. Okay, so we would have killed one of the other two. That's what I was curious about. Ah. Decisions. She's not, yeah. We're gonna need a heal. We just, it's very difficult. We need... Either way, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get any damage on the second one. Yeah. Oh, crit's a bit surprising. Can you stop hitting it, please? Oh, this is amusing. Let's be silly and try to gen some more stars. Oh, come on, the 30%. They all crit. He really got on her bad side. She wanted him DD dead. Right. Go ahead, do this. If we're lucky, that's 70% will crit, but considering what happened last turn, with all the unnecessary crits, I think I already used up all my luck for this particular round. Wow, it actually crit. Definitely leading with the bust. I'm just debating on going ahead and using this or not. I'd like for her to stay higher health, but soon we're going to get some defenses up. Also, there's a chance this doesn't. Better safe than sorry. It's just extra charge regardless. Yeah, I don't think this... Yeah. Mashu, please. You're actually killing me. No, he's actually killing me. Oh, this is where I usually use it. You had to use it a bit early. That is unlucky. I'd rather not to use it now. Oh well. We're not going to kill him this turn anyway. Again, sequence it that way so at least Gil's Buster card will get the Buster bonus. Alright, we have that sword. Now I'm going to use my battery, so I'm going to go ahead and go full damage here. By the way, we had him late. And the sad thing is, now we don't have a overcharge on Gil's MP. Well, actually we do, never mind, because it's just 200%. Never mind. She got an attack up. That's beautiful. In situations like this, where we're going to use a Buster card, pairs just because of the extra attack up. You put it fast, it's not going to affect either of the MPs. So it's best to just put it back, because it'll at least do more damage if it's third in line. How about that? So I'm guessing that was definitely a high roll. Which is good. We take those. Now we grab the craft essence. Then switch over to the other 3 quests until we get another copy of the craft essence for this one. It's tempting to grab that, but we need to be responsible, I suppose. And it is what to shine. So now we have Sure Hit available. So it's also passive crit star gain. Can be pretty handy. Well, now the question is, can we do this one? How big is the difference? So the horse gets about a 13k buff, and then it's the servant that gets the 30k buff health-wise at the end. But in return, one of the ads in the third wave is instead in the middle wave. I'm not exactly certain why, but I don't know if we can, because the way this works, because I don't have Jean or Squirtoria, and as you can see, I don't have a friends list at all. Incidentally, to quick copy a user ID to share with people, you can just, I feel like this is fairly intuitive because it says, you know, copy. What else would that be? but for now it's save to your passport. I'm going to play it safe for the moment and do the lower tier, at least until we can get. Because if we have access to a stouter archer, or rather, so why she's so good is because she's got a 40% battery, he has no battery, and the craft essence we use doesn't have any battery either. No starting NP, which is troublesome. Okay, there's some solo shenanigans. This is fine. Probably. Now, of course, our Robin gets some battery, but little Robin gets some battery, but big Robin doesn't. Okay. See, that's very helpful. That's not the blue button I wanted to hit. Yes. Okay, welcome, Professor. This lad's been very helpful on my main account as well. You've probably seen them on... actually, I don't know if I've done any fights on my main account on stream. Come to think of it. think I just rolled. But suffice it to say, they're on my list there as well. Now, since she's here, bloody MP5, absolute legend. We're going to be brave, and we're going to give it our best shot. Funny thing is, my main is typically fairly solid support list wise for a lot of events, but this particular event, summer events for not so much, because I've only rolled on one summer, which was the one where Mordred was available, and unfortunately a lot of those units aren't really bonus servants for this event. Well, actually, the two I got from it are, but it's just Tama Lancer and Mordred. And we've not, obviously you don't want to use a Lancer against Sabers, if you can help it. I'm going to go and do this because she's got since she's properly leveled. And here for some yeah, we'll throw his arms card in there. Might as well give him a wee bit of gain. Wait, is this the toughest one or the medium one? I feel like they should have higher health. Invulns are lovely, aren't they? So essentially, single target Lancer and AoE Rider I have covered pretty nicely. Single target Rider as well, because I do have Maid Alter randomly from GSSR from New Year's. That's pretty amusing. Okay. Here's the oars. Bad party. Priority is simply killing this before these get charged, because despite us having class advantage, for one, he has rather low HP due to being a 3-star unit and being 10 levels below his max. Thankfully we can take him down right now. I'm going to do this just to give us an extra gain. Would I want to waste 2 turns of the attacker? Now, I don't really care if Marsh gets got at this point, to be honest. So, if all else fails and they both get their charge out, we'll use this little puppy. Let's see what he can do with that non-busted up face card. Now, crit, yes, crit would be very lovely. Well, it's going to be close. Nice. Add a lad. He's not even his attack forward, unfortunately. I think he's got like 150 extra attack. No worries.
仕込みは上手ですね。
And Johnny just comes in with the or 40% crit. Oh, I guess I did go. Oops. Wait. I'm getting so confused. No, okay, no. Yeah, this is the toughest one. Yes. Bugger. I'm actually losing my mind. Actually going crazy. Now, the one weakness to Archer Jonu is she's got rather low attack, so her MP damage can be slightly lower. Now, her refund's really nice. However, that's not going to be an issue in this case, as you can see. And it's not going to be the issue even at lower MP levels when Caster Autoria comes out, just because she gets such an enormous boost. You slap her with Tamamo, or her with another Caster Autoria, or her with double Castoria and a Tamamo, then any ARG unit's going to be blowing anything up. Pretty much. But we need to make sure he hits really hard here. Luckily he's getting the overcharge. And we'll end with her buster just for kicks and giggles. $170k, we take that. That'd be a lot better if he was a higher MP level, but you know how it is, never lucky. Alright, we actually get extra of these guild cards. And we got an extra golden apple. Oh, we have a summon. It's a waste of time to do one summon, but I'm compelled to do it when I see that red number symbol. Okay, do we already? I'm pretty sure we already have him at MP5. Yeah. Good to know, good to know. Okay. Our next fight is against our dear mysterious heroine. So in this fight, she has sort of medium level health, and of course she has break bars, but unlike the other fights where you broke 1 bar and she left, this time you have to break 2 bars. However, this is quite easy as we'll go and do this. Alright. This is going to be easy because she fully counterclasses foreigners. Now she's going to take as much as she gives, but she'll be able to MP pretty quickly. And even though she's AoE, she's MP5, and she has that really nice CE. So I think we'll be alright. But these fights against her with a break bar, when you break it, it actually hurts her instead of giving her a beneficial effect. So it's like an early break bar where it would actually be beneficial for you to break the health bar, whereas most of the newer ones will always cause issues for you. So you have to think ahead before you break the health bars from time to time.
頑張ります。おいで。みんなよろしくね。
I feel like your buffs are way more reliable than they have any right to be, especially. I think you're mucking with me a little. Alright. Okay, so Hokusai. Again, really brilliant kid. Only held back by the fact she's a foreigner. She's got a ton of hard survival in 110 evade. But that's also a 30% MP gain each battery. She has an arts up for 3 turns. Buff removal resist for 1 turn, and debuff resist for 1 turn. And then this is an interesting little ability where every arts card she hits will lower the enemy's defense. It will apply a defense debuff that lasts 3 turns on them. And that lasts, she will have that effect for 3 turns. So every time she hits them with an arts card, they will get lowered defense. I think we will demonstrate here. It's possibly a bit wasteful, but when it comes to the AoE foreigners, I think most would agree she's probably easily the best of them all. And single target wise, while you're looking at the best one there, I would have to say, at least to my knowledge, which isn't complete by no means. Now, unfortunately, she has inborn 13, but that's fine. I'll just do this number. How much MP charge do you want? Yes. Did you have to crit half a dozen times? Was that really necessary? I'm actually going to do mash and do this because that's an easy break, and it will get another defense debuff. And amusingly enough, after breaking her first health bar, she gives herself a pretty massive defense debuff. She really likes Mashu. Very much so. Oh dear. Oh, we can't pass up. Oh, she doesn't have her buffs anymore. No worries. We can't pass up 100% Arts Grit. And a Brave Jane. Even with that class advantage, her MP does bonus damage against humanoid enemies, which essentially means pretty much most of the bad stuff. Which really helps her a lot. And that increases with overcharge, just like Robin's poison boost does. And now here is sort of the salty run back. Except you have to break all 3 of their health bars. It's not humanoid, it's human attributes. So yeah, that's a great deal of enemies. And we'll just go full salty run back. Also, she's suffering from slight burn wounds. Just like before. We'll go MP gain slash getting the defense buff on her earlier. Come on, extra. Good, good. I was fairly confident she would break, but it wasn't 100% confidence. There was a wee bit of doubt, I will admit. Better buy Burn Heal. Let's go do this last 3 turns. See if she gets it. Look at this little trooper. Look at this creature. This should be an easy break as well. Just a bit. Now, hopefully she doesn't invuln. Okay, one more attack. Good loss. She guarded the burn. That's, even though it's a mechanic, that's pretty cute. We'll show off Okusai again. Because we've seen Cedonai's MP a few times. Nice eternal gear. We can always use more of those. Shenggong needs them. Off the top of my head. Still that happen. Oh dear, which free quest? This one. Right. Until we can get the next copy of Foxy Lady. Okay, back in the back line, Lars. Come to think of it, we could actually swap her out now for Ons when she's not actually the fighter. But is that really necessary? No, we were doing fine before. Let her get some bond. Because that's, we got her to bond 6 and on, she's just going to feed us some Saint Quartz. Which, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Let's go ahead and apply our defense. We'll try to replicate what we did last time. Bit unlucky with card order. What's probably going to happen is, yeah, alright, never mind. Bugger, that crit. Now, as long as she doesn't crit, and it's a little closer than I would have liked. I'm not entirely certain that did more damage than if I just would have thrown a Buster card at the end there. Certainly is a mystery. I really don't like Robin. If we had just slightly more crits that turn just slightly, then we would have been A-OK. I'm actually going to keep her out because she'll get a defense back next turn. They shouldn't really be a next turn of us actually taking damage though. Unless we get just ridiculously unlucky. Which is certainly not out of the realm of possibility. So it's a bit bittersweet to already be at 100% charge with the Janu. Considering it's very important to use a battery because MP strength is really nice, as it turns out. Actually, probably I don't know. I don't know if quick with that damage did bust or not. Of course, that's even if she survives, which I don't think she did. No. Nicely, nicely. Looks like about one more round, and not only will we hit 100k and get another copy of the CE, we should hit 100k, but we'll also be able to buy a copy from the shop. That put us at 3 as opposed to 2, or as opposed to the 1 we currently have, rather. Well, that's actually going to juice up our point gain quite a bit. Of course, there's an issue about cost, but again, if it comes down to it, we can say goodnight to C tonight. But depending on the node. And they advance, same as the previous two. I think her invincibility just wore off naturally last fight. I wasn't paying the most attention, to be fair, but I think it did. It's just kind of funny. I'm actually going to... Doesn't matter. It would actually probably be better to not kill 2 of them in a turn to give us an extra turn of MP gain. Alas, it wasn't to be. So if this doesn't create, before it got down to what, like 3k? Better not to risk it. Oh, bugger. Pain, Pecco. inscrutable fame. Oh, come on, random crit. Oh. Now we go. That's what we would have liked, a random crit. Buggy, the chicken. These chickens hit harder than they have any right to. Oh, now he crits when he doesn't have all the attack up. Hey, chicken. Oh no. Wow, bugger. No worries. It'll take a bit longer, but honestly, she could probably just solo this node. Probably. Where we got unicorn on. This is definitely who we need to take down next, because these chickens, they mean business. Are good. Oh, that's beautiful. If anyone's been paying attention, they know exactly why that's beautiful. That means we can ascend Lan Ling and get his final skill. Oh, that's... We've been hoping for that for a while now. Of course, we're going to need a lot more to actually level his skills, but... we take what we can get. That's helpful. So, okay. The reason you went slow-mo on us? Bizarre. Stream seems to be alright. Okay. I'm actually going to do this. Now to give Jolter the most MP gain, we'll do that. Crit Raider. Hey, she didn't crit. Go for the damage. We could lose some value on Marsh, but come on, where are the crits? You make me sad. If you can keep attacking, yeah, by all means, give it your best go. Yeah, I'll even invulner again, just to taunt you. Can I have crit? This is pretty funny because just any higher roll there. Oh well. Poor Mash still sitting here at full charge. I was useful, wasn't I? Well, yeah, sure. We'll go with that. Almost feel bad. Almost. Ah, that's lovely. We actually, since we got the rare drops, we actually got a wee bit less point drops. So it's a bit airy that we got to 100k. It's actually a bit, it's actually quite funny. There we go. There we have a copy of that. Now to get the second copy that's on the points ladder, we have to go all the way to 800k. Of course, when it comes down to that, our priority is painting summer. So when a decent node that we can farm the blue points, the technique points, comes available, that is exactly what we will be targeting. Nicey, nicey. So now we have 2 copies of Foxy Lady and 2 copies of Watershine. Now if you'll notice what day it is, we're getting rather close to the end of our first loop. And doing so actually will unlock a bunch more free quests. This is just pretty much identical to the last fight we did against her. With 3 break bars, similar levels of health, very slightly higher amount of health, but trust me, it's only a wee bit. Where am I? We got unlucky that song. the end ball. You hate to see it. I'll just do this.
頑張ります。はい、行きまはい。
I think Marsh really wanted some revenge this day. Unfortunately, it isn't to be.
倒れて
If she doesn't die, she should easily get A and B. Good, good. Now in this case, easy
キャン
break.
のものだ。キャンのものだ。超こざいな。わらわらとふるめきな。チャージ完了。
Okie dokie. I said we're going to protect him.
しめたっぷり相当だ。いけます。
I hate to waste the charge, but
ホーグ展開します。
at least it's not the full 20%.
印したぞ。本部の中知り
It is 15 though.
体を大きい波のスカミあらよ
Yeah, she'd be able to MP again if I hadn't have. Yeah, she probably would have died though. However, this is the end.
よしよし白のライン
Panda power, polar power. Where did I get panda?
やっちゃうねめちゃくちゃにしてあげいい
Some
な
too many Sasaki clips, I guess.
白
Panda Yankee too strong.
よしちょっと私の中の女神たち力を貸しておふたけしておきませあれもう起き上がってこないんだそうなんだつまんない
Oh, reverse dragon scale. Lovely, lovely. There we have some story scenes. So, the thing is, it's at this point, or it's not much longer, where we're reaching the point where the next story quest will be locked behind total influence. So add up all three of these totals, starting at 200k, which we will reach pretty easily, but each one incrementally goes up by 50k. Now, we may be okay because we'll get 2 free quests in between each of them, and we'll have a bit of a head start, and our drop rate's going to go up now because we've gotten another copy of both craft essences. So we should be good to go for a bit. But if worst comes to worst, we'll have to loot the game do a bunch of free quests to pass the days to day 7 again, and then it resets back to day 1. And honestly, doing that one time would probably give us plenty of points. The total amount of points you need to get the final story quest that unlocks Jolter permanently is 800,000, so we're already essentially a quarter of the way there. Also, important thing to note, I can't remember if I've mentioned this before, and as you see, a great deal more free quests have opened up. But for the time being, we're going to stick to the ones we've currently been doing. Actually, let me check. Okay.
言いたいところなのだが、我も店番ぐらいは知っている。茶屋で仕込まれたから。
So our next plan is get the second store copy of Watershine, and then the final store copy of Foxy Lady. And then third copy of Watershine. The reason we're not getting copies of this one is because the current node that drops these particular bills, the one that had been available at this point, has a very meh drop rate, unfortunately. It's one of the weaker free quests in the event, farm-wise. And one of these new ones that open up, the points drop will be the imagination, so we need Foxy Lady. And it drops the red bills. So we'll finally be able to start working on painting summer. And then after doing that, we can work on these, which gets us more copies of painting summer. So it won't be too much longer. We get to working on our highest priority. So yeah, that's what we have up. So we'll go to Rakikia Street. Okay. Now, this has ticket drop. But wait, What were we doing here? Now, Waver's face cards are perfectly fine. He's got 5-star stats, so he actually hits fairly hard. He and Tamamor have the exact same health and attack stats, amusingly enough. So they both hit perfectly fine. I'm debating on whether I've clearly done this. So obviously I used like this speeds up the ticket drops, but the point drops will stop. Yeah, we need to focus the point drops. We need to prioritize the point drops. Yes, because Well, this is useless here because the 3-star craft essence is worthless in this case because it this quest doesn't drop those kind of bills. We're almost done with those type of bills, honest. Well, that's not true because those are the common drops, and getting more embers from the shop and getting some. We actually need to look through the shop and see if there are any pressing materials that we could use for this account. The most time-consuming thing for any event is completely clearing out the shop if you wanted to do that. Now, depending on the event, that can be much easier than other events, but for the most part, you'll be good as long as you just know what to focus. That way you can save on apples and the like. But if you have plenty of apples and plenty of time, then you gotta knock yourself out. No worries to in the slightest. Now, if I recall, we should be able to actually kill one of these buggers. One of these lower health ones. We'll do this one just because he's looking at me funny. Look at him, he's all shifty over there. Okay. Let's do it like this. Well, we should let off with her. This was a mistake. Oh well. It happens. We actually could have led both of his and then got some damage on this slot here, but it didn't really matter in the end. Her attack animations amuse me way more than they should. Okay. I may have just a wee bit of grit available. Kapow. Alright. Here's since it has a crit chance, we'll do this. If it doesn't crit though, then we will be sad lad. And it didn't crit. Because we can't have nice things. Alright. I ain't even mad. I'm impressed. the little 5% gauge each turn actually came in handy there. Well, not so much because, but it's the thought that counts. Oh, we could have focused on getting her more battery actually. Oops. Probably would have been a good idea. Let's go ahead and do this. And we're not killing, but well, we need next turn to make sure he gets his skills back anyway. Just wanted to make bloody sure she got her revenge. That she got her MP sweet Manchu revenge. Eggplant revenge is always the most pungent revenge. Okay.
今日はオフだというのに、まあ、できる男の余裕というやつ今日はオフだというのに、まったく。頑張ります。王の号令は場所を選ばぬ。その目に焼き付けるがよい。矢を構えよ。俺が許す。思考の財を持ってウルクの守りを見せるがいい。
Shame he doesn't have his MP upgrade yet. This would be much more reliable one turn down here on the third wave. Oi, easy on the crits, love. However, we're going all in with them. It's really lovely being able to. Those are some nice drops. If we had used the wave, that would have been a chunk. That would have been a lot. So we're getting we're getting 2.5 times the base amount. Well, actually, we're getting 3.5 times because that's on top of that's bonus. We're getting a 250% bonus. Yes, that's how many bonus points we're getting, percentage-wise. Words are hard. There's a foxy lady. And we should be well over 200k now. And we still have another 3 quests to go with the same amount of bonus points. Which is what we like to see. Now, since they've grailed him, I imagine they actually rolled for him, as opposed to just getting random spoofs. But you never know. It may be one of those, well, since I have him in B4, might as well. Now this is an issue where so now we're going to get even more point gain, but we're going to be really hurting when it comes to MP charge. So I'm not entirely certain this is a good idea. Full disclosure. Oh, I know who we're targeting first. Blasted chicken. Spawns of the devil himself, those chickens.
今日はオフだというのにまできる男の余裕というやつよ
おいでみんなよろしくね
Now that's
やっちゃ
that
うね
buff is not going to
球
pull
児シャンパンタワーの用意だ
in wave 3, and I'm a cry. Or another feather. I am going to cry. Joy. Hey, stop healing yourself. It's not very neighborly.
目を離すなよ
いいよ
ボトルでも入れておくか
I think we determined that he generally can take
まだまだ
around that much. I guess we were wrong. Well, he can't be grits. Either way, we're left with a turn 3. Really is unfortunate how the charging's working out for us.
目を球児シャンパンタワーの用意だボトル
Yeah,
で目
there's
を
nothing we
離
can
すな
do.
よ
We can just get him some game. But getting her gain is... Wait, we have 10% charge here. It's not enough, obviously, but... Oh, come on.
ボトルでも入れておくか目を離す
やっ
なよ
ちゃうね
球児シャンパンタワー
Well, let's just hope for some crits.
まだまだ
Okay.
物足りん
Keep those a coming. Oi, oi. Let's not get crazy now. I'm actually going to do this.
スライ偉いね
It won't help a great deal, but the damage cut,
やっちゃうね
it might. It might help a bit.
まだまだ物足りん
It is value we have.
オフだ
Hey,
よしよしスライ偉いね
we
蹴散らしな
we
さい
take those.
シロ
球児シャンパンタワーの用意だ
シロお願いよいしょっと私の中の女神たち力を使って
Not getting her MP back. Actually, it's going to be a wee bit easier than it had been,
まだ物足りん
just because of the passive bonus charge we get for turn. So that's lovely at least.
ショウタさん頑張り
Of
ます
course, give her your...
いいよ
球児シャンパン目を離すなよ
慌ていいよ
Oh, that was closer than I expected. You actually make these. Oh, she's got her batch back. Never mind. Calculated. Actually, to the decimal.
球児ボトルでも入れておくか
慌てない慌てない
まだまだ物足りん
That was kind of a weak drop from him. He was rather annoying for that kind of weak drop. Disappoint.
よしよし
Come on.
シロ
Okay.
偉いね
She hit them both. She at rank 1. What are you?
今日はオフだというのにまできる
What kind of
男の
creature are you?
と
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
Alright.
王の号令は場所を選ばぬ。その目に焼き付けるがよい。
Oh, got into 200% charge.
構えよ。俺が許す。至高の財をもってウルクの守りを見せるがいい。
白お願い。よいしょっと。私の中の女神たち力を貸してお深くしておきません。参一せよ。さってやる。飛べ。
She really dislikes Gilgamesh.
慌てなやっちゃうね。
ボトルでも入れておくか。
You know, crits are pretty strong, as it turns out. Who knew? Oh. Random bond level. Ah. Yeah, that was a lot less than we would have liked. That was actually a weak run overall drop wise. Besides the feather, we'll take those. We take those and smile. However, next story quest should be available now. What is next? Ah. Okay. So, this is a fight against this little cutie right here, Ibaraki Lancer. It actually, showcases one of the weaknesses, or one of those in my main roster. That being a good single target saber. Luckily, that's going to be rectified in the very next event, Summer Fall. So that's one slot. A good single target saber is something that I couldn't provide as a support unit for this account, for example. That being said, okay, right, Professor. Oh, I used his Mev on my main account in this fight as well, amusingly enough. Oh, I am glad you're here because you reminded me. We need to go ahead. That's not what I wanted to do. Yes, there we go. 7 of those bloody things. 10 of those. That's even more painful. Because feathers, you get those quite often in events. But with bronze mats, even though they're also very common to be found in events, there's just never enough. And there, the mask comes off.
よろしいのですか？仮面がないと落ち着かないのですが。いえ、ここまで与えてくれた力に報いるためならば当然ですが。
So there's an arts card up and then a chance to increase crit star drop rate and critical strength. Now, at Mark's level, the chance... Actually, allow me to check something. Okay, so only the amount of the buffs scale. It starts at it's always a 60% activation chance for each of the two chance-based buffs individually, which means you really need to get your second skill up so he can target himself and make that success rate guaranteed. Which is what we will work on now. We obviously don't have the mats to level him, unfortunately. But we're going to need some more feathers. And then we're going to need even more feathers after that. How many? How many feathers? So we need 11 in total. So we need 10 more of them to be able to get him to rank 6. And rank 6 would put him at 30% success rate, which that's a solid 90% apiece on this. That's a moderately reliable. That's slightly more reliable even than Cedonise currently is. But of course the goal is to go all the way to 10. That being said, we're going to need a lot more feather drops. So hopefully the chickens oblige. But as you've noticed, the chickens don't always pop up. Now, we're going to do this number. We don't need this at the moment. So we'll go back to his personal craft essence. Should be fine. She actually has a decent amount of health compared to what we've been fighting before, but it's not all that dangerous overall when you have a good saber. I guess we could have brought Long Ling out, but too late now. Shame. So she has passive NP battery and crit star gen each turn. She has a charm that also decreases art resist, and then she has an attack, typical charisma with a bonus crit strength for her 2 allies. So she's sort of a semi-support type unit. Okay. She has very low attack though, as you can see, even though she's doing double damage and getting a Brave Chain. It left a bit to be desired. So Heracles here, she gets to, if she crits, could be in a bit of a pickle, so we'll go ahead and add guts just for some safety. Do this. Honestly, probably should have put Heracles as last. He's definitely going to way out damage her. Oi oi. She's so aggressive. I love it. It really amuses me. She really gets after it. Now, now the arts resistance down actually hit. She actually blocked both of those when I did this fight on my main, amusingly enough. I thought Saber Mev's charm only affected males, but strangely it doesn't say that on the skill itself. This is easy as. I think you might get a kick out of her MP animation. And that was a banana launcher. Alright, we're to 3 quests again, which means we're very, very close to the point where we need to be hitting point requirements. So, which one will we do? Okay, this one, right, yeah, okay, I remembered. Ah, the dreaded chicken. It's alright. Seda and I will take care of you with that brave chain. Hopefully, if she didn't, I might actually cry. That would be very unlucky. I should get some lovely overcharge. Or I forgot to use my battery, didn't I? Whoops. Oh no, I used it. Never mind. I was becoming concerned. I should have known because of this. Well, and that. I'm starting to be concerned about his game, but he should have 3. He'll have 3 arts cards next turn, so we'll brave chain with him. See, easy as. Not even a concern. Okay, okay.
慌てな
We can gen some lovely stars off this, and hopefully she crits. Atta girl. Oh, you beauty. Look at you. Well, now I kind of want to save and not even bother using a
球児ボトルでも入れ
MP
て球児シャンパンタワーのように
just because it'd be wasteful. Now fleeing. We needed a crit, but it wasn't meant to be. Joke's on you, we were going to use his MP next turn anyway. Ha!
はい慌て
球児
ない慌てない
シャンパンタワーの用意だ
That was a makeup crit. As to pay us back for misfortune earlier. Genuinely wonder if a brave chain would actually kill. No, there's not a brave chain, a buster chain. I'm not confident, but
わかります了解ですはい
let's see. Let's just see. Because buster chains do add quite a bit of damage. Yeah, he was close. Some very close.
やっちゃうね
目を離すなよ
慌てない慌てないおいでみんなよろよしよし白は偉いね
できる男の余裕というや今日はオフだというのにできる男の余裕というやつよ
シールドエフェクト発揮します
王の号令は場所を選ばぬ
I feel like we're starting to get to the point where we're stacking stacking buffs pretty well here.
至高の財をもってウルクの守りを見せるがいい
I say that, but we've been using the exact same party for every one of these fights. I guess I just now took so much notice of just how many buffs keep getting stacked on her. Of course, they're all gimped buffs because they were enough, though.
次はリゾートホテルを建ててみるか
They were enough. Right. I somehow completely missed that. Okay, one more battle, and then we go back to get our final shop copy of Foxy Lady. And we already have the point reward version, so we immediately just go back to Watershine. Also, we now have access to yet more members, possibly. How many mana prisms do we have? 32.
ゆっくりしていってくれたまえマナプリ
What
ズ
do
ム
we have available?
いいともでは今回の
So
品物を
we
紹介しよ
need
う
100 to get this last 50. That's HP up. What's down here? Ah. That's 15 a piece. So that's 350. Or no, 300. Yeah, it's 300. So we're a long way away from that.
まだ見ていくか
If you'll notice, we're starting to get to the point where we're not we aren't having infinite AP anymore. I'm actually a bit concerned when we get to the point, because right now we're still leveling up quick enough that we can just manage, but it's not going to be their way forever doing these 40 AP nodes. They're doing story, of course, because of how little they cost as opposed to how much master experience they give you. We don't have, yeah. Well, we can keep going a bit, but when it comes to events, I'm starting to worry because it wouldn't be much of a stream of like, okay, I did 3 fights, that'll be all, see ya. So I'm not exactly certain how to handle events when we get to that point. If it was something like on my main where I have way too bloody many apples, so I wouldn't mind wasting a few just to pad the stream out a bit, would be one thing, but we kind of we don't have the apples to throw around on this account yet, unfortunately.
みんなよろしくね
Got the attack, huh?
今日はオフだというのにまたできる男の余裕という今日はオフだというのにまったく
やっちゃおういいよ
ボトルでも入れておくか
I'm going to say she can kill. Yes.
まだまだ物足りん
That was pretty good damage.
了解ですいいよ
ボトルでも入れておくか
Of all of them to create, it was Mash. That's precious. Okay, we're going to do this. As long as she doesn't crit with her Buster here, he should be he should get some decent gain off the overkill. Ah, this is a bit painful.
行きます
ボトルでも入れておくか
慌てない
目を離すなよ
Prioritize the damage. Did Mash just crit again? Okay, here's a case where I'm going to actually use this because kinda need that. Or wait, that's what we want to do. polar bear, hear me roar. Now,
ボトルでも入れておくか。目を離すなよ。
getting Herring B back in time. It's going to be a bit of a bugaboo. I worry.
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
Let's go
翔
in.
太さん頑張ります。行きます。うん、いいよ。
目を離すなよ。まだまだ物足りん。ボトルでも入れておくか。
I think that was the first time Marsh actually died on this snow. Even as sketchy as some of our fights have gone. That must have been supreme uber bad luck.
シロは偉いね。
She didn't get the
というやつ今日
attacker.
というのにまたできる男の
That's no good.
というやつよ。王の
めちゃ
号令
くちゃ
は場所を選ばぬ。
慌てない。
その目に焼き
We're getting an extra defense down though, thanks to the overcharge here on Caskill's MP. Or is it the only? Is the overcharge only on
でも楽しい。
the defense RP gives the party? Huh. I'm not sure.
飛べ授けてやる飛べ
やっちゃうね。
ボトルでも球児シャンパンタワーの用意だ。まだまだ物足りん。
Just drag out the fight. Just amusing.
あれ、もう起き上がってこないんだ。そうなんだ。
Didn't you just hit 4 just a couple fights ago? My, it's crazy. Oh. Hero proof. Okay, a saber and 2 casters. This is fine. I'm a bit too lazy to change it up too much. So, 80% charge. Okay, she can MP turn 1. If only I had a source of attack up for her, we'd do approximately all of the damage.
行くぞ
But it's not to be. It's not to be.
Kisama, オフだと言っているだろ。オフだ。
そらよ楽しいぞマスター波乗りいただき
I forgot to on head evade. This is a full one set. Yeah, bugger. I suppose. No, it's water shine. That has
頑張ります了解ですさよっしゃ
that has sure hit.
吹き飛べ
Okay. Good effort. Good fight. That defense up must have been higher than I expected. Those were some much needed materials though. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure there's no caster mats in the shop. So that's a bit of a thing. 3 night classes are in there, and Berserker. I will check actually.
人なんぞに
Come
物
to
を
think
連
of
れ
it,
て
we
や
should
るのは
probably
性に合わぬのだが
buy this.
だがそうだ
So that's a third copy of Watershine. So it's back to Honolulu. Until final Foxy Lady. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use the 3-star C to boost our gathering of the, I think these are guild bills. But that's fine, because we need to get more of a head start anyway when it comes to point ladder. We're actually doing quite well. Remember, the cap for rewards is 1 million for each of these, so we're already a 10th of the way on that one, and almost a 5th of the way on that one. That's been a day. Alright, we have another little story fight to do. It is yet another rematch against our dear Mysterious Heroine XX. This time we only have to break 1 bar, but it's an actual proper health bar. So the point requirement for this particular quest was 200k, and remember, after this they incrementally go up by 50,000 each time. Up to 800,000 at highest for the final, for the unlocking Jolter welfare quest. And yes, we're going to go YOLO first turn MP because we can. This is dreadfully wasteful fire defensives, but it's really not going to affect us any.
トド様したりひょんなものだ。本そじりしたぞ。本中知り HB ベース。9月36件。体大きい。波色すさぎ。あらよ。わらわらと古めきな。
Now she's undoubtedly going to invuln now. I would be shocked otherwise.
いきなはいしたり。
It's a darn shame we don't have Pierce involved.
あらよ。
Well, she's got an MP back, and she's put yet another tick of defense down.
たっぷり炭をするさ。ひょんな慌てない。
And that should do it.
本そじりしたぞ。本中知り HB ベース。9月36件。体大きい。
Art is a pretty good card type, as it turns out.
ちょこざいな。上々上々。
Okay, back to Honolulu. Yeah, we're going to level up after this, but we're not going to overflow very much AP. So we'll go until our AP runs out. And then I think we'll call it a stream. I'm getting quite hungry, unfortunately. So, final copy of Fox Elated is our target here, and then right back for Watershine. And after we get Watershine, we actually go to this place, which needs lancers. So that'll be interesting, because if you'll recall, we don't bloody have one. I'm a cry. That's fine, we'll slap Heracles in there. He's kind of a lancer. An Arx is a lance, isn't it? Would you call what he has an Arx? That's actually a good question. Yeah, it's an Arx. It's more sword. It's like an in-between of a sword and a club here, but that's a proper Arx. Well, kind of. It's double-bladed, which isn't the most practical thing in the world, unfortunately. You wouldn't want to use that as an actual weapon in real life, because what makes an axe so powerful is focusing all the force on such a small area, but having its wedge design where it has the thicker back end, which can also double as a club, to in case they have heavy armor that you can't pierce with a chop, you can dome them with the heavy back end, but that wedge shape helps prevent the axe. It spreads apart once you sink the blade into. To keep it from getting caught is bad, so you can pull it right back out. Also, having a thicker metal hammerhead basically at the back of it also adds more weight, which equals more driving force. This has been Useless Facts with Phoenix. Come back next time for more lessons that'll put you to sleep. Okay, let's go on a little. Take a little trip. Okay, right back. Now we need to switch these out for water shine. And we have sure it. Two more cost, and we could use that. But as previously mentioned, it's fine. It's not like we have the advantage with the other ticket types. Once we actually can start acquiring and using Painting Summer, it's actually going to make the fights a lot easier, just because we're going to have starting charge and lots of MP gain, and most summer units are arts. I think it's safe to say most are, and it's just an amazing arts. See, okay, I've not marked anything up, have I? Yeah, we don't have any more of those. Okay. Let us proceed. It's been a while. See if I remember how I played this before. I did all that nonsense. Now, unfortunately, the way we're going to have to do this turn, we're not going to get any damage on a second one. But sometimes that's just the way it is. Ah, blessed crit wasn't quite blessed enough. This should get her. Ahoy! We didn't want that crit, mate. Rather than self-sabotaging at you. Gives us the sads. We're really hurting on charge because of this. Not so much John, she just needs 17%, well 16% really. Oh, looky there. Alright, they gave him a quick down. That's rude. Could be worse, could be arms down. That would really be the big side. This is probably much less damage than if I just Brave Chained. Oi! Relax with the crits. This is a cruel joke. If we put John second, she probably would have just killed that outright. Well, the good news is, I think we've gotten our charge. In fact, just to make sure, I'm going to do this. Because bugger. If only there was a way to... I'll give it a shot. It's going to take a crit. Yeah, wasn't to be. Goodbye, Mashu, probably. Yeah.
一息入れましょう。
了解了解。
せーの。 内緒ですよ。こちらですね。
Maybe it's just her skill animations that look... Something about them almost looks like they're in slow-mo. Not certain why, but there's definitely something funky about that.
とっておきのクルーズを。
It's like Heracles or something.
さあ、行きますよ。聖女より大いなる海の恵みをお届けです。ホップステップグレートオーシャン、レオセアンダレグレス。
村井の木を今の時一般。
I got a nice gold chest drop. No rainbow there, so it didn't save us any shop tickets. There's a lovely level up. Let's see, 4-star will need 10. So we need 5 more of those to be able to fully ascend Lonely. Just one more cost. Although we already decided it would be, it's kind of better this way. Just because.
戦闘です。マスター、指示を。
Well, no. I changed my mind again. I realized.
シールドエフェクト。
Ah,
します。
your mind gets all fuzzy when you're hungry, as it turns out.
頑張ってね。
I'm going to use this now
こちらですね。
purely because, even though she doesn't have an arts card, purely so the cooldown will come at the same time this one will. Because it's either use it now or don't use it at all.
はいよ。仕込みは
So this should get some decent damage even on the second one.
すり抜けるぜ。
Can you please stop with the bloody crits? Also, can we have
行きましょう。
we please have some MP gain for Robin?
なのさ。
Starting to become quite concerned.
仕込みは
一息入れ
Or
ましょう。
MP gain in general.
それ。
Oh well, all the arts cards are
すり抜けるぜ。
in the back.
せーの。
Axials. But
よく仕込みは上々。
it's,
そらよしと。
それ
hair crit would have been really lovely, but
よーはいよ。
we'll take any crit at this point.
では
そらよしと。
それ
There we go. Shame it couldn't be with all the attack ups.
はいよ。了解了解。はいよ。な。すり抜けるぜ。さつきまあいい。こんなもんでしょう。おっと。
Definitely much rather that than
では眩しいですよ。
this. Yeah,
え
it would take Jean critting one of the busters
え、割と迅速に
to have been able to properly target switch this time comfortably.
あいた。ステータス頑張ります。
Ah,
仕込みは上々。
行きます。
はいよ。
all you have to try
そらよしと。
if think so. Well, maybe.
ええ、まぶ一息入れましょう。
She lived,
せーの、
staying alive.
それ。キャッチアウト。
Bet she didn't know Marsh was a member of the Bee Gees. You think Marsh is her real name? It's actually Batilda. It's a big secret though, don't go spreading that around.
ラッキーの奇跡なんざ。裏表を解くようなもん。
内緒ですよ。こちらですね。頑張ってね。
What does the overcharge do? Oh, it increases the crit star generation. So in that case,
我が墓標はこの世の
oi oi, no,
みんな
wrong order. Oops. We're going to do an arch chain just to. Well, it doesn't matter. They're going to die anyway. They're consistently dying to this particular combo of MPs, but
受け取って。
we could have set up massive value for future waves as well. So it's the thought that counts, right?
今のトゲ。一番。
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but
やりました。
Robin's kind of strong.
あなたたち見てますか？ V
He doesn't even have an upgraded MP, by the way. He's also not an MP5, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Okay, so we're 300k. And we can keep the band together because saber mobs. I'm not even going to bother switching craft essences. Oh, the little crabs.
先輩
These can drop seashells, which most, maybe even all, summer servants need to ascend their ore level skills.
頑張ります
So that's something to keep an eye out for.
アスリックでも十分なのさ。
了解ですはい
はいよ。
一息入れましょう
そらよしと。
Well, Mash, it's the thought that counts. Alright. That's,
では
it's not very neighbourly of you.
了解。仕込みは上々。
それ
すり抜けるぜ。
There's no charge for Jean this turn, which is no worries. We've got it covered. Yeah, they get a wee bit stouter second wave. She just needs 10%.
私のイルカは勇敢ですよ とっておきのクルーズをではショータイム青い空エメラルド海そしてたくさんのお友達みんな受け取ってレオセアンダレグレスやりました妹たち見てますか V
These little story drops, they help a wee bit, but they're not much to write home about, unfortunately. The generic mysterious enemy sprite. That certainly looked like it could have been a crab. Right. This is actually no, we need. We need to turn 1 MP because one of these assassin enemies can MP's turn 1. So we're going to be dreadfully inefficient with our defensive skills, but it is a sacrifice that must be made. Now, the assassin that instant charges their gauge has really low health, luckily.
じゃ
But
ぼちぼち始めますか
so it's not out of the question that you're just one turner
ガッテン承知ですかさ
out of the blue,
加藤様またガー
easy as,
ステータス頑張ります
before she gets her in field. But why chance it? When you can just make her go boom
トーンしたり
with certainty. We've reached the point in our stream where the NPs are starting to bug out sound-wise. 2 down.
あらよわらわらとふるめきな踊れさっ踊れ
Say Summer Scar isn't a stronger servant.
仕込みは上々
ひょんの
はいよ
Daily welfare.
えてな
あらよ
So some questionable design
なんと
decisions.
かなりましたね
Scar's a very popular character, as one might expect. Feel like that should definitely be a candidate for them to think about buffing, because it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility of them buffing a welfare, because they did buff Shiki, even though Shiki was already really strong. But oddly, they haven't really buffed the ones they really needed, like, say, Nobunaga or Archer Nobu. The struggle is real. Keep getting paranoid thinking that I might have another copy of
戦闘ですマスター指示を
Craft Essence.
アスリートでも十分なのさ
頑張ってね内緒ですよ
I think Sid was so up against it cost-wise
発揮します
that
仕込みは了解了
it wouldn't be the most easy thing to fit it on a party.
えてな振り抜けるぜさつくんまあ
Unfortunately.
こんなもんでしょ
行きます
Going to do this purely because we need the charge. And better to waste time on this easy wave than the middle wave where they actually hit like a truck.
一人では一人ではせーのそれ
Jean with her random crits. Speaking of crits, thanks to these craft essences, we're actually getting a fairly substantial
で
amount
は行き
just
ましょう一人
passively each turn, which is pretty amusing.
せーの飛んでけ
Come on, keep the crits coming. That's the one we wanted. We really want to crit. but wasn't to be. No, actually, I take that back. It's perfectly fine to get that Buster crit.
仕込みはいよ
眩しいですよ。
えてな釣りに来るぜ
We take those. There we go. Just got to get the ores down quickly because well, we've seen what kind of annoyance that bugger can
了解
pose.
了解
行きましょう
仕込みは上々そらよしと
それ。
そらよしと
I think my team's angry or something. Like, how about we just do all of the
仕
crits?
込みは上々
せーの。
They should be angry more often.
ステータス頑張ります。
ダチへの布石なんざ何度でも届くようなもんですよ
こちらですね。内緒ですよ。私のイルカは勇敢ですよ。とっておきのクルーズをでは。
Almost got even more overcharge on Robin's
聖女より大いな
NP.
る海の恵みをお届けです。ホップステップブレイドオーシャンでオセアンダレグレス。
弔いの木今を遂げ一番やっぱ正々堂々ってのは疲れますわ
Okay, one more fight and we'll get another level. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That gives me the sads. The big sads. Day 4. Okay. Well, we're at that point where we're out of AP. However, one way we can kind of cheese this is to actually wait to stop here and allow this to regenerate, and then when we play again we'll have a full bar, we'll do one fight, and then we'll level up, and then we'll have some overflow again, a bit. It's not going to last us long, unfortunately. We've definitely reached the point where we can stop playing indefinitely, which is sad. But that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. We've made quite a bit of progress. We're almost 2/10, a fifth of the way through both of these ladders already. And a reminder that even if this seems like slow going to you, for one, we have a bloody week of doing this kind of thing. So we did this in a day. But keep in mind that next week the raids will unlock, and the raids. So you saw that we don't even get. It's on average between low roll, good runs and mediocre runs. I'd say on average we might get 20,000 points per run as it currently stands. Well, and that's with all our bonuses. Well, the raids, each time you actually manage to completely kill the boss and get the rewards from it, at base, so without any bonus whatsoever, will give you about 36,000 of whichever 3 points that particular raid boss drops. And there will obviously be a raid boss for each of the times. Meaning, if you can get, and this is very easy to do, if you even get to 200% bonus charge, you're going to be getting over 100,000 of each of these points each time you kill one of the raid bosses. And remember, you fight them multiple times, because the way it works is there's a giant total health bar, and however much damage you do, each little fight you take with it will chip away at that health bar. And then once that health bar is empty, then you fight it one final time where they're super nerfed. It's not really a raid fight, it's just a regular boss fight. But not even that, because I don't even think any of them have 100k HP at that point. They get really bloody weak. Which makes sense, because you've been beating the tarnation out of them for a while. So, yeah, don't get too worried if you're lagging a wee bit behind points wise, because as long as you can handle the raids pretty effectively, which shouldn't be too difficult, just find somebody that has a good support list. And preferably some starting charge on the unit so they can MP and blow up the boss really quickly. And you'll be good to go. It's very tempting to just use 2 bronze apples and do one more fight, but then we'd get the level up and we'd have 102 AP instead of potentially like 205 or whatever it'll be when we start again. Also, we're 3 hours in, it's fairly decent stream left. Oh, this is very frustrating. We were so close to getting our last copy of our last store copy of Boxy Lady. But at least we know we'll get her next time. Let's see if okay, I have one friend point summon. Let's see. Anything nice comes. No. Wow. Never lucky. Alright, so that's been this stream. As mentioned before, I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to handle being caught up. Our level being high enough that now we're not leveling up quickly enough to play indefinitely. But if all else fails, just to pad a stream out, perhaps I'll switch over to my main account midstream and tinker around on there a bit, because not like I don't have to farm on that one as well. Although it's a lot, we're already a lot further along points wise, despite technically me already doing a lot more fights on this account than I have my main. My point bonus is just so bloody high that just blitzing by this, like we're well over 200k for both of these. After you get all the shop CEs, is a decent opportunity to because then generally at that point you just need you need to hit 800k to make Joel to permanent, so you can spend that time clearing out each stage of the other free quests to get all the prizes. Actually, that's tempting to do a 28p one. Actually, we'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Because that's going to give us enough that's going to give us enough tickets anyway. Oi. How about that? Sometimes a good idea just falls out of the blue. It's very, very random, but very rare rather. Well, and random, let's be honest. But occasionally, it can happen. So this shouldn't level us up, obviously. Look how much weaker the enemies are. I almost feel bad. Almost. I'm going to say Robin can kill that first one. Never in doubt. Unfortunately, we don't have any MPs. And let's see, 40% chance it'd be 73, it'd be 83. This is only 15%, so we're 1% off. 1% off. We call that sadness. Generally though, when you reach this point, so where you're no longer overflowing AP, it's best to always be under max, for proper efficiency at least, because your AP will not regen as long as you're at max or over max. So if you want, yeah, we can do the deed. But yes, because your AP doesn't regen unless it's not at max, so it's good to always have it regen. As much as it's convenient to you, at least. Or this was actually a bad thing to do, because it skipped us forward with very minimal point gain. Ah, bugger. Errors were made. Oh well. we might have to do an extra loop because of that. Which is a shame, but oh well. Either way, doesn't particularly matter. Now, we have a final copy of Foxy Lady, which means next time we go right back over to Waikiki Street and we go to town over there. Now, unfortunately, let's go ahead and switch crop distances. As you can see, we're just a wee bit overcapped. Meaning we either have to drop C9 or we drop Heracles. Now, Heracles we want in there to accrue bond, of course, but C9 has been doing very well for us, well, as well. I would definitely want that in there. Who could we replace him? I don't have any more event servants, of course. Yes, Hans. Having a backup support can be handy. If he can get his MP quickly, get some HP regen going. Fortunately, he's still a bloody MP1. We need Ku, we need Arsico, and we need a couple more copies of Hans. FP, please. How are we doing bond-wise on Heracles? He's almost on 6 here. So that's pretty good going. Just it's just going to get more and more painful though to get him on up to 10. Let's compare that to Cedar 9. Yeah, he's got such a head start on it, and she's a 5-star unit. And they're still pretty much neck and neck bond-wise. I guess he just needs that much more. No, of course she doesn't need much, she's not even 5 yet. He's a bronze unit, so he's not too shabby. Interesting that Ushi's so much further along than David, because I feel like I've had David in the party more than Ushi. Okay. So that's been today's adventure in sunny Hawaii. Hope you enjoyed, and next time we will continue. We'll see how much further we can go. The good news about the loop is we're only on day 5, so not too far off of starting a new loop. Of course, we have to get back up to day 5 to actually continue the story, but if all else fails. Because really, when it comes to fruits, what you're saving for are the big lottery events. And we still have a little bit of time before we get one of those. Also, it's a challenging lottery, so I'm not exactly certain how well this account's going to do in it. Like even my main's liable to struggle pretty hard. Oh well, we'll cross that bridge when we burn it. Now, hope you enjoyed this stream. Hope this event's making sense to you if you've decided to play. And see you next time.